The decline of Canada, why life is becoming unaffordable. The cost of living crisis, a nation on the brink. Not long ago, Canada was seen as one of the best places to live. Its cities topped global livability rankings, wages were solid, and opportunities felt limitless. Fast forward to today, and that dream is slipping away. What was once a land of prosperity turned into a financial battleground where millions are struggling just to stay afloat. Take Jane, for example. She's 28, works in marketing, and earns what most would be considered a good salary in Toronto. Just 2 years ago, she was paying $2,100 CAD for her one-bedroom apartment. But now, her landlord is raising the rent to $2,400 CAD, a 15% increase in a single year. That's not just inconvenient, it's life faltering. And she's not alone. Across the country, millions are feeling the squeeze. Last year, a record-breaking 2 million Canadians, nearly twice the population of Ottawa, relied on food banks in a single month. That's not just a statistic. It's a sign that basic survival is getting harder for the average person. And it's not just the low-income population suffering. Even those earning $80,000 per year, once considered a very comfortable salary, are finding it impossible to buy a home in major cities. The dream of home ownership, once a defining feature of the Canadian middle class, is fading fast. In Vancouver, rent for a 2-bedroom apartment has shot up to $3,500 CAD. In Toronto, it's now $3,300 CAD, a staggering 25% increase per year. These aren't just numbers. They represent real people being priced out of their own cities, forced to make impossible choices. So what's causing this crisis? Government policies, corporate greed, stagnant wages, and more importantly, is there a way out? Let's break it down. The housing market, a bubble on the brink. For decades, Canada's housing market has been competitive. But what's happening now? This is something we've never seen before. Buying a home in Toronto or Vancouver isn't just expensive, it's become a luxury that even high earners can't afford. The numbers are staggering. To qualify for a mortgage in Vancouver, you now need to make at least $250,000 per year, more than 3 times what the average household earns. And if you're looking at an average single-family home, you'll need to be pulling in at least $300,000 plus per year. Let's put that into perspective. Back in the 1990s, a middle-class family earning $60,000 to $70,000 could afford a home in Toronto or Vancouver. Fast forward to today, and even couples with dual 6-figure incomes are struggling to qualify for the most basic mortgage. And it's not just major cities feeling the impact. Smaller towns, once considered affordable escapes, are seeing the same dramatic price surges. Kelowna, Halifax, Hamilton, all places that used to offer an alternative to the big city. Housing crises have now seen home prices double in under a decade. The question is, where can Canadians afford to live now? So, how did we get here? Experts say it's a perfect storm, a mix of foreign investment, speculative buying, and a failure to build enough homes. The government has promised solutions, but many Canadians feel like it's too little, too late. Is the market headed for a crash? Will prices ever come down? Or is homeownership in Canada officially out of reach for the average person? Trudeau's Canada. What went wrong? When Justin Trudeau was elected in 2015, he wasn't just another politician, he was a symbol of change. His campaign was built on hope, opportunity, and progressive values. His first day in office set the tone. Walking through a Montreal subway station, taking selfies with excited commuters, and promising a new era for Canada. He wasn't just popular, he was a political superstar. Approval ratings soared. People compared him to Barack Obama. For a moment, it felt like Canada was stepping into a new golden age. But fast forward 8 years and that optimism, gone. The cost of living is spiraling out of control. Crime rates are rising. Canadians are more divided than ever over issues like immigration, affordability, and government spending. The question is, what happened? The housing crisis. A failed promise. One of the biggest criticisms of Trudeau's government. Housing. Owning a home in Canada has gone from challenging to nearly impossible. While wages have stagnated, home prices and rent have exploded. Government policies meant to curb speculation, like the foreign buyer tax, were supposed to help, but they've barely made a dent. Instead, the market has continued to spiral out of control, leaving even middle-class Canadians struggling to find a place to live. Meanwhile, government spending has soared, pushing the national debt to record levels. The Trudeau administration has pumped billions into programs, but many critics argue that instead of solving problems, these policies have only fueled inflation, making life even more expensive. The divide in Canada is growing. People are asking, is Trudeau still the leader Canada needs? Or has his vision for the country completely fallen apart? Let's take a closer look. The immigration dilemma, a system at breaking point. Let's get one thing straight. Immigration has always been a core part of Canada's identity. From European settlers in the 1800s to modern-day newcomers from Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, Canada was built by immigrants. But here's the issue. Canada is now taking in more people than it can handle. In 2023 alone, Canada welcomed over 1.2 million new immigrants, one of the highest per capita rates in the world. And the result? A housing system and job market that simply can't keep up. Think about it. How can we bring in over 1 million new people per year when we're already short hundreds of thousands of homes? The truth is, it's not immigration itself that's the problem. It's that the infrastructure isn't there to support this level of growth. And the backlash? It's already starting. A recent Reuters report found that even longtime immigrants are now questioning whether Canada can handle this level of population growth. This isn't about politics, it's about math. More people plus not enough housing equals a disaster waiting to happen. And if nothing changes, the situation is only going to get worse. The future of Canada. Can we fix this? So, is there any way out of this crisis? Some experts say yes, but it'll take real action. Solution 1? Build more homes. Canada needs to build 3.5 million homes by 2030. That means cutting red tape and getting serious about housing supply. Solution 2. Tax vacant properties. Over 1.3 million homes sit empty in Canada. A stricter vacant tax could bring those units back into the market. Solution 3. Control speculation. Foreign buyers and speculators shouldn't be driving up prices for locals. A stronger anti-flipping tax could help. Solution 4. Align immigration with housing growth. Immigration is essential, but it has to match our ability to house new arrivals. The bottom line, if the government doesn't take action now, Canada risks becoming a country where only the ultra-rich can afford to live. This isn't just about numbers, it's about people. People like Jasmine, like your neighbors, like you. And if Canada doesn't change course soon, we might lose the country we once knew. If you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe for more video.